Hi there, Will. Here we are again with Will TV with
Noni
and Pa. Nice to talk to you, Will.
We love you, Will.
And Tom.
And Tom.
And
Milo.
And we've got a song and a story. So here's the song your daddy knows, Tom and Will. Will, called Camp Granada. Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. Here I am at Camp Granada. Camp is very entertaining, and they'll say we'll have some fun if it stops raining. I went hiking with Joe Spivey. He developed poison ivy. You remember Leonard Skinner? He got ptomaine poisoning last night after dinner. All the councillors hate the waiters, and the lake has alligators, and the head coach wants no sissies, so he reads to us from something called Ulysses. Now I don't want this should scare you, but my bunkmate has malaria. You remember Jeffrey Hardy? They're about to organize a searching party. Take me home, oh mother, father, take me home. I hate Granada, don't leave me out in the forest where I might get eaten by a bear. Take me home, I promise I will not make noise or mess the house with other boys. Oh, please don't make me stay, I've been here one whole day. Dearest father, darling mother, here's my precious little brother. Let me come home if you miss me. I would even let Aunt Lizzie hug and kiss me. Wait a minute, it stopped hailing. Guys are swimming, guys are sailing, playing baseball, gee that's better. Mother, father, kindly disregard this letter. How was that? That's a bit of fun. Now here's a story called Jemmima Puddle Duck, the tale of the silly little duck. Here we go.
Oh, this is a story of a farmyard duck who wanted more than anything to hatch her own eggs. Here she is, look, Jemmima Puddle Duck, the loveliest of ducks with such fine white feathers. But poor Jemmima, every time she laid some eggs, the farmer's wife came and gave them to the hens to hatch instead. Well, this upset Jemmima. Her sister-in-law, well, do you know what a sister-in-law is? Well, let me tell you, just hold on with the story. A sister-in-law, your daddy's sister-in-law is Auntie Lizzie, and your mummy's sister-in-law is Auntie Amy. And Big Chris has a sister-in-law, and that is Tash, or your mummy Sarah. So there you go. Oh, anyway, Puddle Duck thought she was being silly. I don't have the patience to sit on a nest for 28 days, she told Jemmima, and neither do you. But Jemmima was determined. I want to hatch my own eggs, she quacked back. All by myself, quack, quack. Well, so one fine spring afternoon, Jemmima set out in her best bonnet and finest shawl to find a secret place to lay her eggs. Pit-pat, paddle-pat, pit-pat, waddle-pat. She followed the cart track to the top of the hill, and from there she could see a wood. It looked like a safe, quiet spot. Well, Jemmima decided to fly the rest of the way. She wasn't terribly good at taking off, but after a great deal of flapping, she was up and away, and Jemmima landed rather heavily in the middle of the wood, and you could see a robin there. And what are these things? Oh, Mummy's favourite foods? Oh, no, she doesn't like mushrooms. She was not alone. Sitting nearby was a smartly dressed gentleman. Oh, he had black pointy ears, sandy-coloured whiskers and long bushy tail, and he appeared not to notice Jemmima. Oh, and look, he's reading the paper there, and in the corner, there's a sign saying wanted. Quack, said Jemmima Puddle Duck, with her head to one side. "Quack!" The gentleman looked up and said most politely, "Madam, have you lost your way?" Jemmima thought the gentleman very charming and very handsome, the sort of gentleman a lady could trust. She told him all about her search for a safe, dry nesting place. "Well, how interesting," said the sandy-whiskered gentleman. "Oh, my own summer residence has a snug little woodshed. It would be just the place," he told Jemmima. "You would not find my winter house, so convenient." He politely led Jemmima to a tumble-down shed and showed her inside, and to her surprise, the little shed was full of feathers. Jemmima was soon too busy making herself comfortable to give much thought to why. "Oh, here she is, look, Jemmima Puddle Duck, the most trusting of ducks, on her snug, feathery nest." Well, Jemmima visited her nest every afternoon, and before long she had laid 9 fine white eggs, and the bushy-tailed gentleman admired them greatly. He counted them every day. He was so polite he seemed almost sorry to let Jemmima go home each night.
I'm a bit slow turning the page.
"Tomorrow I will begin to sit," Jemmima told the gentleman one afternoon, "and I shall not leave my nest until all my eggs are hatched." "Madam," he replied, "before you begin your hard work, let us have a dinner party, just the two of us." He's thinking about, what's this? I think it might be roast duck. Woo-woo. He asked Jemmima to visit the farm garden and gather some herbs, some sage, some thyme, and some parsley for their feast. He told her to bring some onions as well. It never crossed Jemmima's simple mind that parsley and thyme were just the thing to add to an omelette, or that sage and onion made a tasty stuffing for roasted duck. Well, at the farm, Kep, a wise old dog, spotted Jemmima carrying the onions. "What are you doing, Jemmima Puddle Duck?" "Woof, woof," he asked. Jemmima told him of her woodland nest and of the charming gentleman with the sandy whiskers. Kep gave a knowing smile. He insisted Jemmima describe exactly where the shed stood before he went on his way. By the time Jemmima had collected the herbs and onions, she was tired out. It was all she could do to carry them back to the wood, and she found the foxy gentleman waiting at the shed. He was sniffing the air and glancing around nervously. He was not nearly as polite as before. "Give me the herbs," he snapped, "and come into the house." I wonder what he was sniffing. But first Jemmima went into the shed, feeling rather alarmed to check on her eggs. She was even more frightened when she heard the sound of paws padding outside. The most awful noises and suddenly filled the air, barking and howling. And when the terrible noises stopped, a wet black nose nudged open the woodshed door. It was Kep. He had a bite on one ear and 2 foxhound friends for company. Oh, well, and the bushy-tailed gentleman? Well, of him nothing more was seen or heard of ever again. After her narrow escape, the farmer's wife let Jemmima keep her next batch of eggs. She wasn't terribly good at keeping them warm, but she did manage to hatch 4, all by herself. Here she is, look, Jemmima Puddle Duck, the luckiest of ducks, with 4 fluffy little puddle ducklings. Aren't they sweet? Well, will you know why she was the luckiest of ducks?
Is it all?
I think so.
Yep.
That's the end of the story.
That's the end of the story. And that's the end of Will TV for another week. We love you, Will.
We love you,
Bye-bye.
Will. We'll see you soon.
Next time.
Bye-bye.